Okay, the presentation doesn't seem to be moving forward for some reason.
Hey, thank you, everybody, for showing up today. This is our Design Review Board meeting for Tuesday, September the 20th, 22 at 12 o'clock, a little after that, quarter after, actually. Declarations of conflict of interest. I see none, thank you. Approval of the agenda. I'll need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Ken.
I'll move.
Seconded by Chris. All those in favor of the agenda? Everyone's in favor, thank you. Adoption of the minutes of the design review meeting of Monday, July 18th. I'll need a mover and a seconder for that. Moved by Ken, seconded by Chris again, thank you. All those in favor? Good, everyone? Okay, business arising from those minutes? No business? Good, thank you. And then we'll move right into report, and 6A is 50 Cumberland Street, PID number 679381, and Laurel, it's all yours. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just trying to, oh, here we go. We went to the back of the slide for some reason. Ready to roll. Okay. This is a proposal to construct a new equipment building to house Maritime Electric's 50 megawatt combustion turbine generator. They also intend to demolish the existing steam plant building following the construction of the building. You can see a little bit of the steam plant building here. The proposal is located just outside the 500 lot area boundary. It's in the CDA zone right here. And it's being brought to the design review board because it's not because it's located in the 500 lot area, but the proposal was required to proceed through a public process for the CDA zone and then to council for public consultation. Following public consultation, council agreed to approve the amendment to the CDA zone, but it was subject to the approval, subject to the proposal proceeding to design review board. So that's why we've brought it through. It's also located within the Eastern Gateway master plan area, so that is one of the reasons why they decided to forward it. So the property in question, it's located at 50 Cumberland Street. However, the access to the site, it's located at the base of Richmond Street. You can see that right here. Total acreage for the Maritime Electric site is about 28.8 acres. It consists of 14 land parcels and 4 water lots. The proposed building will be located on PID number 679381, and that's about approximately 2.41 acres. It's the area bounded in red. It's bound to the north by Grafton Street, to the east by land zone CDA, to the south by CDA zone lands and Water Street, and to the west by R3 medium density residential and institutional land zone lands and Cumberland Street. The proposed building, it's approximately 25.5 feet high, it's 55 feet wide, and 65 feet long. Maritime Electric has indicated the construction of the equipment building is proposed in 2 phases. The first phase is slated to begin in the fall of this year, and the second phase is scheduled to proceed in December of 2022 to November of 2023. In reviewing the proposal, the design reviewer was asked to consider the Eastern Gateway Master Plan and the proposed development. Overall, the design reviewer indicated that the design is acceptable and suitable in the context of an industrial site. However, Mr. Matthews did provide recommendations on the building design that he felt would contribute to making the building more sympathetic to the area in which it's located. His comments are located in the report, but basically he commented on landscaping on the site, and he also attached a sketch that he felt would convey an approach with color that would add interest to the building. This could be done at minimal cost, but it would help to soften the industrial look of the building and make it a little bit more interesting on the site. This is the elevations on all 4 sides, and these are the recommendations from the design reviewer. They were also attached to your report. And these are some of the recommendations in sketch form that he provided. So basically what he's saying is to attach metal painted panels, use Maritime Electric's colors to change the color of the door and add panels on either side of the door, and then another panel here. So this could be done actually on all 4 elevations, just to give a little bit more interest on the site for any views that you might see from Richmond Street or Cumberland Street. So overall, staff agrees with his recommendations. We are recommending that that additional landscaping be planted along Cumberland Street to provide a buffer and a transition between the existing neighborhood and the Maritime Electric site. That could be done until any kind of future development occurs later on, or if the site continues to remain industrial, that would provide a break between the neighborhood and the site. And we are also agreeing with these recommendations. The other, one other thing that we did suggest is that the building, when it's placed on the site, see its placement here. The Eastern Gateway Plan talks about an extension of Richmond Street in the future through the Maritime Electric site should some of the site be decommissioned. So we would just recommend that the building be placed so that it wouldn't interfere with that prolongation of the street into the site. Right now, where it sits, it's pretty good, but it could be pushed back a little more. However, you could also look at curving Richmond Street when it goes into the site as opposed to just doing a straight shotgun type of street that would go through the site. So Richmond Street in the future could also curve within the site if development were to occur. So those are some of our recommendations as well, and we're recommending for approval of the development.
All right, thank you very much, Laurel. Any comments or concerns, folks? So the recommendation is to move forward with the proposed building design with a few changes. So any questions? Yes, Mr. Gillis.
What was inside the building?
Brian Faubert is
I can't hear.
Maritime Electric, so he could answer that a little better than myself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Faubert with Maritime Electric.
Welcome.
Inside the building, it'll be electrical, demineralized water, and compressed air to feed the 50 megawatt combustion turbine that was pictured in the first picture.
Where is that located now?
Currently, it's located in the basement of the steam plant.
Brian, excuse me one sec. Could you just press your mic on there? The red, it should go red for you. Just the first button right down on the bottom right. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the building has a mezzanine in it?
There is a portion of the building, about half of it would have mezzanine, and all of the high voltage electrical equipment and panels would be on the second mezzanine.
Could it be located behind the turbine generator?
The entire building.
Yes.
There's significant switch gear that's behind the building currently, and it would be challenging for it to be placed in that position.
Okay. And Maritime Electric has a wood frame building fronting on Cumberland that also has access from Richmond Street.
That's our energy control center.
No, on the north side. It's a wood frame building with garage doors.
Oh, yes, correct.
Is that utilized?
It's used for storage of components for the combustion turbine and for the steam plant currently.
Doesn't look like, I was down looking at the site, doesn't look like anything has gone on over the grass into the doors for 20 years. So,
Access through Richmond Street is typically how it would be entered, not through Cumberland Street.
my real question is that, and I think the reason for discussing this is, I'm pleased that Maritime Electric is making the investment to demobilize the steam plant and to rehabilitate the site. I think that's very, very positive. So I'm all for sort of the sort of changes that are taking place. But if you do look at the Eastern Gateway project, there's a vision. And the vision is a long-term vision, and decisions that are made today would compromise some aspects of that long-term vision. And I think that view plane that if you could, can you go back to the slide that shows the view from Cumberland Street looking down Richmond Street? Yes. So there's 2 tanks there now. Are those used for the turbine?
The white bunker tank is, we actually just completed the demolition of the black bunker
Okay.
tank.
And the long-term vision for the Eastern Gateway project shows the street pattern being reestablished as a grid over this site. And that's why I think that the location of the building is critical. And when I look at the site plan, I see that that building, could it go back another 15 feet to the north?
There would be some complications associated with the reposition of the building. Primarily, we have intent to reuse some of the large 13,000 volt cables. So moving the building would cause some additional costs associated with electrical and procurement of said wires, but moving the building 15 feet to the north is something that would potentially be able to be accomplished.
Am I still connected?
Thank you very much. I'm going to let Alex ask a question there. Brian, please. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So are you indicating, Ryan, that you can make that adjustment?
So just to orientate myself, north is closer to Grafton Street, correct?
Correct, yeah.
The only complication I could see from that would be the procurement of those expensive cables, but I have no other complications associated with that position.
Mr. Chair, if we could, again, I'm pleased to hear that, and it's good to ensure that we can implement the Eastern Gateway Master Plan. When we did the Eastern Gateway Master Plan, Mr. Orford and I had many of a discussion on, suffice it to say that engineers don't like planners drawing lines all over their property. So we resolved at the end was the long-term intent is if they abandon the property, they're not going to use it for any kind of electrical generation, then we would certainly dig in. But his point was to me at that time, if this is going to interfere with our operation, I mean, and we're trying to find a balance there, but it's just a matter of, I told him that, look, we realize that it's a functional, power plant. It will be for some time, but we would like to adhere as much as we can to the Eastern Gateway Master Plan, those future road connections. So it is my understanding that this, whatever happens today, they're under some kind of a timeline to get this thing moving. So I would, with their commitment, I don't know whether we can, I don't know that whether he's in a position to make that commitment, but if we can get that commitment, they will endeavor to do that unless there's some other technical complication. That would be helpful. If we can, there's other ways we can achieve the Eastern Gateway Master Plan. We can still put a roadway through there, but it would be nice if we can adhere to it as much as possible. But I just hope that, I'm just concerned about any more delay today. So whatever you want to add on to your conditions, let's just ensure that hopefully today will be the end of the discussion on what needs to happen there. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Chair? Hello?
Yep, I think that's Julie.
Hi, Julie, you there?
I am here. It's cutting in and out on me, but I only have about another minute, so I was struggling to hear everything. But I'm hearing what I just heard from Alex is basically there's a few more things they're going to add in, and we're going to try to move Laurel's report along. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So any other comments, concerns at this point?
I just, before.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will move that we accept staff's recommendation with the new new what's the word I'm looking for? With the new stipulations put in place.
Well, we're, right at the moment, we're looking at what the staff's recommendation is, and, and that is to move it forward. Mr. Gillis had some questions and concerns, and I don't think it's things that maybe that can be worked out moving forward, but we were going to approve it as what was stated today.
Okay, well, I'm willing to move that.
Okay, we just got to, so I do have a mover, but I will ask for a seconder, and then we'll go back to Laurel, okay? How's that? So do I have a seconder for today's report? Anybody want to second it? Okay, seconded by Chris Fournier. So before we actually ask for the vote, we'll go back to Laurel. You have something you'd like to say, thanks.
So just for clarification, we've only shown one elevation, so I think maybe any street-facing sides of the building that would face the street should have that design proposal, as Mr. Matthews indicated in his report, applied to it. The other thing, the extension of the street, that was put in the report because I believe there is room within the site, should Maritime Electric choose to decommission in the future. That road could also be curved as opposed to just a straight
Right.
road. And also, I think before it's agreed upon to move at the 15 feet, we would need confirmation from his superiors that that can logistically be done. So
So I
I
think,
wouldn't want to see the
Right.
approval just tied to that moving 15 feet, is what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right, so, Alex, you,
yeah, Mr. Chair,
Yes, and that's the other thing we need to consider is the effect on adjacent property boundaries, and if moving it would cause to the setback requirements in the bylaw.
maybe, Mr. Chair, with the committee's indulgence, that the recommendation could be that Maritime Electric endeavor to work with staff to set the building back as far as possible. If there are technical issues or there are some other things come up, we'll try to arbitrate that as much as we can. But if that's acceptable to the committee, again, I typically wouldn't do this, but I know that there is a, the power plant works on this tight time schedule and that they're up against it. So I would just hope that we can bring this to a conclusion today. Thank you.
okay. So, Brian, you did have your hand up. One more kick at the cat before I ask for a vote?
No, I think Alex has addressed it. Thank
Okay,
you.
good, thank you very much. So, we have a motion on the floor to accept staff's recommendation with what Alex just said, as well as pushing it back as much as allowed. And I'll just need to call the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, okay, 3, 4, and Julie, you're in favor?
I am in favor, and I'm sorry, but I really have to
Yeah,
scoot because
that's
I have
good.
my meeting people here.
Thanks for phoning in.
Okay.
Bye-bye, so that's 4, against. Thank you, so 4-1. Okay, so that moves on to council. Where are we at? So, moving on to new business. I see anything? No, we're all good. So I need one more motion, and that is to adjourn. Moved by Sharon, seconded by Mr. Gillis. All those in favor? All those in favor? Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Bye-bye.